You all think I'm kidding, don't you? The press knows I'm not. Look, the future of the auto industry is electric. There's no turning back. And as Rory says, the American auto industry is at a crossroads. And the real question is whether we'll lead or we'll fall behind in the race to the future, or whether we'll build these vehicles and the batteries that go in them.
Folks, we got some breaking news from Congress. The number of lawmakers in Congress that support a fourth stimulus check is growing significantly. And that is amazing news for millions of Americans. A group of lawmakers just sent President Biden a letter urging him to pass more stimulus relief checks for the people that are struggling financially. Should a fourth stimulus check be sent out? Should a fourth stimulus check be sent out, even if the country's reopening? Let me know your thoughts on this, everybody, in the comments below. If you support a fourth stimulus check of $1,000 or $2,000 a month, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. The whole goal of this channel, everybody, is to provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. I want to see every member of my community receive another stimulus payment. And I believe that President Biden must keep his promise and help out our seniors by increasing Social Security benefits by $200 a month. And if you guys agree with me, then leave a comment down below saying I agree. But this week, 6 members of the House Ways and Means Committee sent a letter to President Biden urging him to include recurring direct payments in his American Families Plan. The White House has already stated that the Biden administration would consider a plan put forth by lawmakers in Congress. In the letter, lawmakers called stimulus checks a lifeline for people who had their lives upended by the crisis, and said that it was imperative that relief remains available. To ensure aid only ends when the economy improves, the 6 members of the House and Ways Committee advocated for tying direct payments to economic conditions. So far, everybody, more direct relief payments have support from at least 80 Democrats in Congress, as well as Vice President Kamala Harris, who has sponsored a bill for recurring payments. In fact, there has been a total of 3 letters, which have been sent to the White House and Biden before he took office. In addition, everybody, the exact details have not been finalized yet. Lawmakers have not specified an amount for the fourth round of stimulus checks. House Representative Ilhan Omar, who signed one of the letters, along with 56 House Democrats, has pushed for $2,000 payments. Now folks, the White House is considering using automatic stabilizers to trigger enhanced unemployment payments. The Biden administration has already spoken with the Economic Security Project about automatic stimulus checks, and that is really awesome news. So we can definitely expect to see more action being taken by Congress and possibly President Biden later on in the year. The American Families Plan that Biden announced in April would invest $1.8 trillion in education, childcare, and paid family leave. But folks, do you believe that this $1.8 trillion that's going to be invested into childcare and education, do you believe that that money should go to our seniors and increase the Social Security benefits by $200 a month? Leave your thoughts on this, everybody, in the comments. Now, it faces an uphill battle in Congress, and passing the package in the Senate would require Republican support unless Democrats use budget reconciliation, a means of passing legislation without the threat of the filibuster, because reconciliation, guys, only requires 51 votes to pass. Now, if you guys support a fourth stimulus check and a $200 increase in the Social Security benefits, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes.
One bad diagnosis on a medical problem for your daughter and the whole thing turns upside down. It's time to raise Social Security payments across the board and disability payments, both.
Mr. President, the average Social Security benefit today is just $14,000 a year. And as someone who will be the next ranking member of the Budget Committee, I intend to do everything I can, not only to oppose vigorously any efforts to cut Social Security, I'm going to do everything that I can to expand Social Security benefits. And, in fact, the best way to expand Social Security is to ask the wealthiest people in our country to pay more into the system by scrapping the cap on income that is subject to the Social Security payroll tax. Mr. President, as you know, right now, a billionaire pays the same amount into Social Security as someone who makes $117,000 a year. You got a multimillionaire here, somebody's making $50 million, somebody's making $117,000. They both contribute the same amount into the Social Security trust fund. This is regressive, this is unfair, this is absurd. If we lifted this cap and applied the Social Security payroll tax to income above $250,000, not 117, but $250,000 a year, we could not only extend the solvency of Social Security for decades to come, which is what we want to do, but we could also provide the resources necessary to expand Social Security benefits. And that is exactly what we should be doing, and that, in fact, is what the American people want us to do. Mr. President, in August 2014...
is that if every problem we deal with is simply by raising taxes, why we end up burdening the American taxpayer. We violate the President's pledge not to raise taxes on people earning under $400,000 a year, and we depress the economic growth, which allows people to have good jobs and rising wages. With regards to child care and the need for kids to have child care, broadly speaking, looking at the Democratic proposals with regards to child care, there seems to be a very significant bias toward providing child care and pre-K education and so forth, which encourage, if you will, women and men going into the workforce, as opposed to saying, hey, if one of you wants to stay and raise the child, that's acceptable too. It does seem like the administration strongly prefers getting kids out of the home and getting both parents into the workforce. And I understand there's an economic reality to that, or advantage to that. And yet I also think there's a developmental advantage to a child. If parents want to have one or both remain home to raise a child, there's a child-bearing advantage to that as well. Are you concerned, and I guess I'm going to direct this to the member of this panel that's responsible for child care, are you concerned that too much focus on federal mandates actually may be detrimental to the effects on children who might otherwise be raised with the intensive involvement and investment on the part of the parent or one of the parents for that child?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. Yeah, I think two things here. For one thing, children develop better in an environment where they can engage with others besides their family members, and allowing a child to be in a setting where they can develop the cognitive and the social emotional skills will allow the parents to go to work and not have to worry about their child falling behind by the time they're ready for kindergarten.